Every time you yawn, beloved, you bring us closer to you. The yawn is like remagnetizing yourself, physical self, to your higher self. And when you merge through the breath, you have completion of higher to physical self. But do not think you have, we will say again, completion, because there is not a completion at this level. For beyond your higher self, beloveds, there are other higher selves, other aspects of you that sooner or later you will have a great understanding of. We would like to explain it like this. The Russian dolls, they're made quite big, and you open the Russian doll up, there's another one inside, and there's another one inside that. You get our drift. That is what you may call your higher self, but in reverse order. So you have the inside out Russian doll. The inside out, the small Russian doll, is you upon Mother Earth. And then the next higher self is the one, the next level, the next dimension. Doesn't matter what you call it, but it's a dimension that is within yourself, and some people think it's outside themselves. What poppycock. But we understand. If you knew better, you would do better. But the time is now to do better. The time is now for you, if you can, to bring your energy into yourself and be love for yourself. Work on yourself. For when you work on yourself, you then are an example to other people. It is right to have boundaries around yourself, brick walls, forests, so the people who are coming towards you get lost in the forest and cannot reach you. You are protecting oneself, and that is right. Why do you think the knights of old used to live in castles? They were protecting themselves physically, yes, but also spiritually. You asked the Knights Templars what their main goal were. We will not tell you the main goal. If you wish, you can sort it yourself. We have broached on this subject before. Why would you want to go to a burial place that you have been told somebody might be there, or a part of an artifact, a part of someone's bones? Do you not realise that what you've been told from the past, if they're of a spiritual intellect, of a spiritual way of understanding, they would have gone on in spirit? The physical remnants, the skull, the bones, the artifacts, the coins they find in the fields of England is only materialistic things. But when you sign on for the spiritual awareness that your soul is searching for and knows it can accomplish on this journey of Mother Earth, then you know that the game is changing as your thoughts change. Just because a book is written does not mean it's true. use your imagination. Self-realization. Oh, we love when it rhymes. Use your imagination. Self-realization. Oh, we're not going to start with Shakespeare again, or anybody else coming through at this moment. So use the personality of yourself to dissect what you're reading or listening to, even to our messages. Dissect them if you dare. We want you to dissect them. We want you to let them play like a video through your skull and think, I cannot cope with that at the moment. Let's just put it on the shelf, the back of my head, and replay it when I have a better understanding of it. And we will say, yes, you spiritual being in a physical body. Yes, 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 yes. It's about time you smelled the coffee. And if you like Earl Grey like our partner, he's got no taste. But we do appreciate the almond milk he's drinking now, instead of the stuff that was in the dairy herds. I will. You may approach. For the females here, he talks truth, and we laugh at the way he brings it through. For if he was serious, you may be offended, and we don't wish our energy, his way of explaining it to you. Thank you. He's looking. He cannot make his mind up who I am. I come from what he talked about earlier, the Knight Templar. I come from that energy field. I come with an aspect of the violet flame. I come with the knowledge of the healing. I come with the understanding of the words you can use and the thoughts that you have to feel at the same time to activate. It's like the dynamite without the fuse. You cannot start the dynamite without the fuse, and the fuse, you cannot have the fuse without the dynamite. I worked, I lived, and had my being in the physical realm in the courts of Merlin and King Arthur. I used to see the materialization from lead into gold. I used to witness on a daily aspect the alchemist. I myself can shape shift into many aspects of the feminine divine. I am not what I have shown him. I could be Joan of Arc. I could be all the figures that have stood up against tyranny through the earth changes of that era of the Knights Templar and beyond. For as I left my body through the knowledge I acquired through being around certain energy fields of what you may say were around physical magicians, I now know how everything is connected to a certain level. I do not have infinite knowledge. There are beings beyond my scope at this moment. I come with a headdress on, a white headdress, and on top of the headdress there is a round bit. The headdress falls over the shoulders and the dress is just pure pink, shimmering down to the floor. That is who I've shown myself as to our partner. Find me if you can, and then you'll have your proof. I come in many names and disguises. And some of you thought I were buried in the fields of France. And some of you thought I was burnt at the stake. We come this way to say to you that the physical life is permanently. It is not. Forgive him because he's seeing a block of energy. The permanent life is temporary. The spiritual life is permanently in all its aspects. All the aspects you think about have got many dimensions to them. Many aspects upon aspects upon aspects. Your beloved Jesus Christ was an aspect. Saint Germain, Archangel Michael are all aspects. Loving, caring, sharing, beautiful energies. They are all there. They still vibrate in a wonderful energy field of love. You may ask, how do you get there? Because as a super being which you are, you have to ask yourself, why am I here upon this disease-ridden planet which is killing itself, which is milking itself dry, where they're drilling into the core for fuels when they can harness the wind? Why? Why would you let your governments have control of you? Why do you watch the box in the corner which is repeatedly giving you stories of revenge and killing? Where are the love stories? Where are the feel-good factors? Bit by bit, your humanity is being eroded. We fought a crusade for this. Some will paint it one way, some will paint it another way. Doesn't matter how you paint it, beloveds. It matters how you deal with it within your heart. How you speak to yourself is so important. How you speak to other people is just as important. We could go on and on about the past. We allow the vibration of that alchemist to show you that you can change. And you have changed in certain areas. But as a shapeshifter, you should be still changing on a daily aspect. For if you don't change, if you don't learn, if you don't understand, then what is the use of your earthly visit to this learning school? Do you remember your home? Well, you should have after that meditation. Do you remember when you first came out of the womb into this life, where you had to be slapped to wake up, to start crying, so you could draw your earthly breath? Do you remember that? You should remember it countless times. It is just a remembrance. It's just an experience of opening the car door and saying, "We've arrived. We're here on holiday once again. Now how do we get the best out of it?" Now, sometimes you have to remember where you're from. You have to phone home. And your intuition is your phone home. The source is your phone home. The source, in other words, is God. G-O-D. What is God, beloveds? We will tell you before you even think about it. Guidance on demand. God. G. Guidance. O. On. D. Demand. You are God, you are guidance on demand, and your intuition is the telephone, the antenna, the Geiger counter that you should be using to connect to the higher, the greater, the self that is beyond you, that lives somewhere else. Who knows where it lives, be honest, beloveds, for there's many examples. Does not matter. It matters that you feel connected. And when you feel connected, beloveds, you know how you feel. The physical being you are in now, it is going to perish. So isn't it better to get that spiritual aspect of you working, ticking over? But it needs oiling, it needs derusting, it needs winding up every single day. And this is what we're trying to do to you, saying, come on, before you die of boredom, kickstart yourself. Get a pair of jump leads and get somebody else to hold them who is in tune, and get a start off them. Jump them. And we know jump them in a different sense means physical relationship. That's okay. For why split it? Because your churches and religions have said, one that cannot say that. And we will say, poppycock. It's not what you say, it's, thank you, how you say it. And you all know that to be true. Why, in the name of God, have you lost your sense of humour? Oh, people cannot say that. Oh, political correctness has gone really weird. Do you think we have political correctness up here? Wait till you come over. you will have a ball again. And you will see the folly, the misunderstandings, and the pit holes that you've fallen into. But it's all part of life until you realise the body is nothing without the inner workings. And that inner workings is your soul and your spirit. Not forgetting your love of self, of life, of your mission. We noticed through being ill, our partner has spent time watching the Spiritual Olympics. And we have played with him, teased him rotten. Why would you spend 4 years just wanting to curl a ball or a stone on ice? Why would you want to spend 4 years curling an ice ball when you can have realization? Spiritual Olympics should be the word for self-development. Who can bring enlightenment to themselves and then share it with other people or point them in the right direction? Not being number one who can jump the farthest on a pair of planks going down a ski slope. Yes, we make the mickey of it on purpose to show you what can be taken the mickey of. And deep within you'll have an understanding. The same as the films that you're watching. 9 times out of 10 they're bringing drama into your home. So we ask you, please, for your own benefit, for your future benefit, and the benefit of mankind, be very guarded what you allow, who you allow into your homes, and especially that box in the corner. For that is designed by some people to have control over you. You are the star player. You're not an extra in somebody else's life. So why don't you be the leading lady, the leading man in your life? Stop being an extra. Take control. Be the superhuman being that you're meant to be. But allow that spirit to come through, to inspire, to install the peace and the wisdom. And do not be afraid from walking away from those who wish to entrap. We spoke last time about the borders of Germany and about American politics, and we will not change our statement. Things have to be addressed. But remember, for the ones that have chosen for their life to be cut short in any way of life, in any mass demonstration of souls leaving the body, as soon as they breathe their last breath upon earth, they awake over there. And we that surround each and every one of you stand with you when you take that transition. And if you are not supposed to be on the other side, you will not be there. And we will help and we will guide at that particular time. You will know who we are. And in the knowing, you will know that you are being protected, looked after by a greater force than you can imagine at this moment. We are with everybody. And we are particularly working with those in higher office at the moment to encourage, to inspire. And what we said earlier, we will say it again. If they knew better, they would do better. You have made this earth yourselves, not physically. The Mother Earth has always been here. But you've changed the vibration, you've changed the colour, you've changed the energy fields upon the harmonic grid, which lies upon the crust of Mother Earth. And every negative thought, feeling you have, goes into your Mother Earth. So if you don't change it, Mother Earth will be polluted by the human race. And what happens then? Look at the Ice Age. Look at the shift. For it is a valuable portal for those souls coming in to learn, to experience. It will not be allowed to be contaminated, so it cannot be used properly anymore. Hopefully you understand our words at this moment. We are looking for those who will stand up in the name of themselves, in the name of something greater that they can explain with their earthly words, but they know within their spiritual makeup what it's all about. All you have to do, beloveds, is visualize us as an army stood behind you. And as soon as you stand up for the right of yourself against those who wish to enslave you, we stand up with you for the greater good of you and the greater good beyond the ripples of your earth vibration. Ask yourselves, why are the leaders who wish to change assassinated? Ask yourself that. You already know the question. We are speaking on a world stage now. Do not think small, beloveds. Think outside your box that you've put yourself in. Choose the thoughts you think and the feelings you feel. Choose them. Do not let anybody take them away from you. Explain to them, if you can, why you are doing that. And if they cannot understand and they cannot merge their consciousness with you and come to a place that they can understand, then it's time for, unfortunately, to let them go their own way. You stand in your power. For there are those who are approaching you who wish you to stand in that energy so they can learn, they can plug their energy into you and feel fired up. You are the spiritual guru, all of you. You will not get the devotees sat at your feet anymore because you are making them differently. Your internet, your Wi-Fi, the connection you have with your computers. You have got people listening and agreeing with maybe a couple of sentences and putting the rest behind until they can cope. That is the devotee. That is your brother and sister. However, in different countries and different colours. But still one thing in common. They are from the source, the same as you. It is so good to be let out of the box. We have waited for 4 weeks through what he calls his physical illness. those who are on a regular basis, can you feel the difference? Can you sense the difference? Once you meditate, that cannot be taken away from you. Once you reach a higher plateau, that cannot be taken away from you. Once you can tune in like that and get that information for yourself and for your brothers and sisters to help them, that will not be taken away from you. Every time you sit in meditation, you are lightening your energy, which is lightening the world. We said to him we would be here, and we have been here. We leave this way of interacting with you here now. On that note, we bid you a good evening until the next time. For as always, we are the Council of 12 with our inspirers. And of course, that divine, loving vibration that came before. All for one and one for all.